slow down. Pick up the tempo, that's slow.
Hey lovelies, thank you for clicking on another one of my videos. I'm Monde, the lilac feather, and welcome to my channel. For today, I decided to just have a sit down chit chat about my university experience, studying abroad, being an international student, and all of those things that might help some of you who are thinking of going to study abroad or you're just starting university in general. I wanted to share my experience and some tips for you. Hopefully it will be helpful. This is going to be very much unstructured. I don't have any notes to guide my discussion. I just wanted it to be from the heart. If you are interested, keep on watching. So first things first, I am just going to explain how I ended up coming to the States in the first place. So before I graduated high school, I wasn't really eager to leave the country. Like, I wasn't one of those people who was like, I need to go and study abroad, like I need to go outside of Zambia for me to have a proper education. I was okay with just staying in Zambia and doing my thing and then maybe leaving for my master's. It wasn't really my main priority, but the opportunity did arise, like I would say a few months after graduating. So I was introduced to doing the SATs and preparing for going to university in the US in February of 2017, and I had just graduated high school in October 2016. So I barely had like some rest after graduation, which was something I was a little bit bummed about because I did want to rest a little bit and just figure myself out and see what I wanted. But when the opportunity did arise, I was like, you know what, let me take it. What's the worst that can happen? You never know, you can actually end up leaving, you know. So when I went into it and when I started studying for the SATs, which is basically ECZ grade 12 exams but American version, just to clarify. But once I started preparing for that and doing all the things, I wasn't really like certain that I was going to leave, you know. It wasn't something that I was like, okay, it's going to happen, like I'm going. I was just like, you know what, let's just see where this goes. So I did my SATs twice because I was told that if you write it twice, it kind of increases your chances of getting accepted because universities find the average of both exams to kind of boost your score type of situation. So I wrote them twice in June and I think October of 2017, and I did pretty okay. It wasn't the best. Like, let me admit, I hated the SAT experience. Like, it's basically, for those of you who don't really know what it entails and what it's about, so it's a math and an English exam, and it's like a speed test. It's very timed, and I wouldn't say it's a test on your knowledge per se. I would say it's a test on your test taking, which I hated, and I really didn't like that experience at all. I just wanted it to be done. I wanted to get it out of the way and just leave. To be honest with you, I feel like doing those SAT things, you can either love it or hate it. I was one of those people who hated it. I'm just saying, that was my experience. I can't lie. So I was able to apply to about 15 schools with my grades, and only 4 accepted me. So out of those 4, I only got financial aid from 2 of the schools. So one of the schools offered me financial aid, but it wasn't enough. It was barely anything compared to how much I would be paying out of pocket. So I decided to ask and, you know, just put my luck out there and say, is there a way you can increase my scholarship? They were like, nope, this is all you're getting. If you can't take this, we won't admit you into the school. And I was like, bro, I feel like that was a wake-up call. That was when I learned how intensely expensive university is in America. I learned that even people who have grown up here for their whole lives barely go out of university without having debt, without having loans. It's insane. It's really insane, and they don't really give out scholarships that easily. So after that experience, I was like, okay, okay, I need to, maybe I should have been more vigilant with looking at the scholarships rather than just applying, you know what I mean? So the second school that accepted me did give me financial aid, and this one was enough, and it was also an increase in scholarship depending on my grades and my GPA as I went through the semesters. So I took that opportunity, and that's how I ended up at the University of Akron, which is where I graduated from. It wasn't my first choice, but it was basically the most affordable option for me. When I came here, I really had no regrets. I really enjoyed my university experience. I learned so much. I grew. I feel like once I came to the US, my bubble was just popped. Like, my whole viewpoint of the world, of my abilities, of the opportunities that can come my way, of how I want to make an income and how I want to use my skills in the world changed. Before that, I was just very close-minded and very narrow-minded on the things I can do with my life, which was sad. I feel like young people grow up feeling like they can only take certain career paths that can lead them to success. And once I came here, I was open to so many different opportunities and so many different ways of being successful. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things I am grateful for coming here, is just how open my mind was to all the different opportunities. So I would advise people who are watching, someone who's maybe going into university for the first time and you don't really know what to expect. My first piece of advice is to open your mind up. This is the place where you're going with a blank slate. You are going with the little knowledge that you had from high school. You are going to learn, to grow, to figure out what you want to do for the rest of your life. Don't narrow your mind. Don't stick to the same path. You know what I mean? Unless you are very certain that that's what you want to do for the rest of your life, and you have the passion, you have the drive, go for it 100%. Don't even look at all the other things. But if you were like me, who was still on the fence on what I wanted to do, explore. This is the place to make mistakes. This is the place to do as many things as you can so that you figure it out. Honestly, like, making mistakes in college is allowed. I feel like that's the only place it is allowed to do that. So yeah, go and explore, go and ask all those questions. There's so many people who are willing to advise, to help, talk. What I did was I talked to as many people as I could. I talked to engineers, I talked to lawyers, I talked to architects, I talked to teachers, I talked to sign language people, I talked to psychologists, I talked to so many people and asked them about their journey, about how they ended up doing what they were doing. And it was so eye-opening to be like, wow, so I can actually be successful and fulfilled in different things, and I don't just have to do one thing, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's how I ended up choosing the path that I did, and I loved it. It was so amazing. I really enjoyed every second of it. And upon graduating, it's about a month now since I graduated, the opportunities that are coming my way, all I can say is don't doubt yourself. Go for that path that you want. There are ways of making money. If you work hard and your ethic, it shows to the employers, it shows to the people, you will make that money. I feel like the plus side of coming here and studying abroad was how my mind was opened to so many different things. But of course, there are some cons to that. The first one is, of course, cultural shock. The cultural shock was crazy when I first came here. I just felt like I was so out of place. Like, from the moment I stepped in, I couldn't understand anyone. I couldn't communicate effectively. You know, sometimes when you see American films or movies on TV, you hear the accent, you're like, I can understand them, like, it's fine. But then you're forgetting that these are movies. You know, like, these people have been trained to speak clearly so that majority of people can understand what they're saying. So when I came here, I was like, I've been hearing the American accent all my life on TV, but why don't I understand? Like, what's going on? It was very weird. It was very strange. And I really had to adapt in the way I communicate, in the way I interact with people. It wasn't nice. I got really homesick. I missed the food at home, which I've spoken about in a previous video. I don't really want to go deep into that, but all I can tell you right now, Zambian food, top tier. In flavor, in freshness, in organicness, Zambian food is way better than American food. That's my opinion. Don't come for me. Another con also was, of course, the racism, the elephant in the room. I was kind of slapped in the face when it comes to that, because I never really experienced being a minority in Zambia. You know what I mean? Because of course I'm part of the majority. I'm black. Most people in Zambia are black. But coming here, it was a lot. Like, so let me just break it down for you so that you can understand like how the socio-economic status depending on race works in this country. So basically it's white male, white female, male of color, female of color, and then the list just keeps on going down. So you can imagine I'm not just a female of color, I'm a female of color who's from Africa. Like, I'm not African American, I am African. So I really had to work extra hard to be considered enough to show that I know what I'm doing, that I belong here. It was extra work, it was extra proving of myself, which was very draining in many areas, in job hunting, in internships, in class, when answering questions, when being considered for presentations. I really had to work extra hard just to prove that I'm enough, which was sad, but I feel like I have to mention this for someone out there who's intending on coming to the US. You just have to know that you are gonna have to work hard for people to take you seriously, unfortunately. So another thing that I experienced during my college experience was COVID. COVID ruined so much. It is so sad. I had to do a whole semester. No, actually I did 2 semesters. I had to do a whole school year of college from home. Online school. Can you imagine how sad that is? I had to go back home. Like, immediately I heard that COVID had reached the area that I'm in the States, and it had been spreading fast, and the school was closing down. I had to move fast. I had to figure out what to do, because I was like, I can't get trapped here. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Who am I going to stay with? I barely have anyone I can run to in this country. So it was a very last minute thing. I had to buy a ticket to go back home before the borders closed. And actually, this is good. This is how I know it was good. The day I reached and traveled home safely, 2 days later, they closed the borders. No one was allowed into Zambia and out of the States, which was so scary. I was just thinking to myself, like, some of my friends that I know who were studying in the States at the time were trapped. They were trapped even in China. Actually, I have some friends studying in China, and they were also trapped during the COVID season, and some of the things they went through was not, I can't even mention it. It was crazy. So I really thank God that I was able to spend the COVID season at home, even though I feel like it took away an experience, the college experience. But I was safe. I never got COVID. I managed to pass all my classes, even though they were online and they were hectic and time difference. That's a whole different thing. But I was still able to finish, and I'm just so grateful to God for that. Another thing I would just advise, if you are a Christian and you are watching this right now, is to find a community of like-minded believers. I took it upon myself, I would say, the first week of coming to school, to campus, I explored different on-campus churches and ministries just to figure out which one I liked best. And that really helped a lot. Like, it helped with making real friendships, real Christian friendships. It helped me also serve. So I also decided to serve. I was singing on the on-campus ministry as well, which just helped me stay in check in all areas, like with my relationship with God, spiritually, emotionally, with my academics. You know, when you put God first, everything pretty much falls into place. So that's one of the biggest things that helped me throughout my college experience, and I wouldn't change that. And I would advise you who's watching to find that on-campus ministry, or if there's nothing, start one yourself. Just have a community of like-minded believers. It really helps, and it really makes your journey that much better to just include God in it, because with all that extra freedom that you don't know what to do with, if you are not grounded in that area of your walk with God and your faith, it's easy for you to go astray. College is one of those areas where you can just go anywhere, but with God, he will keep you on the right path. Another thing that joining the campus ministry helped with was socializing. If you know me, I am one of the biggest introverts ever. Like, I could have just stayed in my dorm 24/7 and just work on my studies and do nothing else. But like, joining the campus ministry helped me build that community first of all, but also interact with other people. So whenever they had Bible studies or like small groups and all of those things, I had to go because I was serving in the team. And although in the beginning I was like, do I have to socialize? Like, do I have to do this? It really helped because it helped me make friends and actually build like my friend circle, and also socialize and go out and do fun things as well. So that really helped me. I feel like if I didn't do that, it would have been very hard for me to build a lot of friends, because I would have just been okay with that one friend I met at orientation and nothing else and nobody else and just the two of us. But joining that campus ministry really helped me make more friends and step out of my comfort zone and do fun things, fun Christ-centered things. I'm not going to the club and drinking, that's not my thing, but yeah, still having fun, still enjoying my college experience with the right people. Also, because I'm very introverted, I had to push myself to put myself out there, like to talk to professors and people who can help you get connected in the real corporate worlds. That was one of the things that I was so scared of, because in college you have to know your professors, you have to interact with them, you have to answer questions in class. Like, after class you can go and talk to them and ask about maybe an exam or a test question that you weren't sure about. That part was hard for me. I had to really gain some courage and just be like, one day, these people are here to help you. Like, what are you scared of? Like, honestly, what are you scared of? So slowly, as the years went on, and as I had gotten more comfortable being on campus and being a student and everything, I started talking to more people, more higher authorities, more employers and professors and lecturers. That helps. Talk to your professors, even if it's just one sentence. Even if it's just one sentence after class, it makes a big difference. They are going to remember you. They are probably going to help you write a recommendation later when you're looking for jobs. That is one of the biggest tips I also had to learn from coming into college. Talk to your professors, talk to the big people, even if they look intimidating. They are there for a reason. We are all college students there. They know you are curious. They know you are exploring. They know you have questions. So ask and talk to them. They are going to remember you. Your grades speak, but you also have to speak for yourself. You have to use your voice. I wish I could have heard this in freshman year. I feel like this thing I'm saying right now, I'm saying to Monday 4 years ago. Talk to your professors. Your grades are going to be good, but they don't speak for themselves. You have to speak as well, because it's one thing for them to be able to write a recommendation letter just about your grades and how good of a student you are. You also have to show that you can communicate. You are good. You are a well-rounded student. So that is another tip that I'm giving to you guys, and that I had to learn as well the hard way. I would say that has been my college experience, ups and downs, a lot of learning, a lot of exploring as well. It's been really fun, and it's kind of bittersweet that I've graduated now, because I feel like, wow, I really made it to the end, but I kind of didn't want the journey to end, because college life is the best life, Yeah, I think that's everything. I think that was my whole college experience. I just wanted to have like a chit chat, sit down type of thing, big sister advice for you who's maybe going to uni or just started, I wanted to just share this information with you. If you are thinking of being an international student, hopefully some of the things I said was helpful and answered some questions you had. If you do have more questions, please let me know, comment down below, or you can just DM me privately. I am more than happy to answer your questions. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please stay tuned for my next video. Bye.